Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio. We are still spilling the tea and committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman, live, direct, it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Great news, K-Man! Tim Hortons is finally open and ready to serve you. Start your day right with our delicious all-day breakfast or grab a box of our famous Timbits and a dozen donuts for a sweet treat. Need a quick pick-me-up? Swing by our drive-thru for your favorite espresso drink anytime. We're open weekdays from 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the weekends, closing 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, with 2 entrances at the Shamrock Road Roundabout in Red Bay. It's time for Tim's.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
Good morning, K-Man. Happy Thursday. Vacation mode, T-1 activated. How is everybody doing this beautiful Thursday morning? Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, it's going to be the end of the week. And I dare say that lots of exciting things going on for the weekend. The most exciting is I won't be here. Oh my goodness. Oops. My apologies. Knocking stuff over. As you can see, my brain has been in vacation mode, I think, all week. Like, honestly. Some of you have picked up on it. You're like, Sandy, when are we going to get to this topic? I'm like, oh man, forgot all about that again. Ay. All right, we're going to get through it though. We're going to work through it. I know how it is, honey chill. When your brain is like already there, you got to pull it back. Oh my gosh. I don't want to talk about America. Please. I really don't. The double standard is so amazing. Wow. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. Just a toots. Jimmy, what's his name? Kimball. Now potentially out of a job as who's he with? ABC decided to pull the plug on his show. Now, I'm going to be fair. I don't know what remarks he made or what joke he made. I mean, he's in the joke business. So, I don't know what jokes he made about, what's the guy's name again? Chris, what is it? Chris Christie? Chris Christie. Is that his name? I mean, it shows you how much I actually care. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, who the parties are doesn't really matter to me. Pretty crazy. So let me just see here now. Let me see. Chris Christie. Is that his name? Todd Christie. No. Chris Christie? I don't know. Forgive me for not knowing and not being too concerned even. But these are the players all over America. So it just popped up in my feed that there's a guy on Fox News who said that mental patients, hold on, let me get this one straight for you, because I don't want to say it wrong, because I know the Trumpsters are there like, you didn't say it exactly. You need to get the transcript. I'm like, okay. No, Charlie Kirk, thank you, not Ashley345. Thank you so much. If we don't get it right and it's involving their people, they're going to be all up in their feelings. So let me just get it. Let me get this right. All right. So his name was Charlie Kirk. This guy is a Fox News correspondent or host or whatever. And let me just see here now. So he said, let me get it right now. The FCC had something to say about this. Ooh. Let's have a look. Oh, by the way, grocery inflation, the highest it's been in 3 years, going back to COVID times here shortly. They're calling it Trumpflation updates. All right, give me 1 second. For those of you who care about nothing else but your money, even your money is going to be in a hot mess. So this is, okay, his name is, dun, 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 dun. Hold on, let me find him. He made these remarks on Sunday, and the bottom line is he still has a job. So give me a second. Let me get it for you. He said, dun, 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 basically that they should execute mentally ill people, because that's gonna solve all their problems right there. Yeah, gun violence again. Just execute them, he says. All right, so let me just get this for you. Okay. His name is Brian Kilmeade. He apologized after saying the U.S. should just kill mentally ill homeless people by lethal injection. But nobody over at Fox will be terminating him. You can believe that, because, if you're on one side of things, you can pretty much say whatever you want. So there you go. Okay. So let's just execute, just kill all homeless people, and that's A-okay. No consequences for saying that sort of foolishness. People who've probably just been a product of, the system. How horrible is that? Oh my gosh. What a mess. All right, let's talk about Cayman. Good morning, everyone. Big shout out. Can I do a big shout out before we get started into deep diving into the mess that we have here, created by our own politicians? We got to keep an eye on every single one of them. Yes. Hot mess. It's like the hot mess parade. But before I get into that, let me just do a big shout out to the Westin Hotel. There's spa there, Hibiscus Spa. Always a pleasure to go there. And I walk away just feeling so amazing. So I Did a spa treatment yesterday with my mother-in-law. I'm getting ready for vacation. She's getting ready to just relax as well. But it was so nice to go there. They're so welcoming. And I don't know if you guys have been there. If you haven't been there, give them a call. Go. It's really good. And they have lots of local faces working in the spa. And I like that. I've actually not stayed at the hotel, but I see lots of local faces around the place. And I had a young lady from Jamaica named Simone do my massage yesterday, and it was amazing. It wasn't like a deep tissue. It was just pure relaxation and joy. Like, just amazing. So thank you to Mr. Jim, who's the general manager over there, and Hibiscus. It was just great. I love that they have a sauna, that they have a steam room. You can get in the whirlpool and just enjoy yourself. It's just great. Fantastic relaxation. And she did a whole thing where I could literally feel my lymphatic system operating so much better afterwards. I feel amazing today. Okay. Yes. Tell them Sandy sent you when you go. Just say, listen, I'm here because Sandy said you guys did an amazing job, and they'll take care of you. They'll take care of you regardless. I know that. They're just very, very wonderful. Okay. Just thought I'd throw that out there just because I had such a great time. I love going in the steam room, but I'll be honest with you, I can't take too much steam because that takes my breath away. I'm like, ugh. But the sauna is good for you. I wish I had a sauna at home. Can somebody figure out how to get me a sauna at home? I know they have them at Costco. You can order them online and put them somewhere in your yard, I guess, or inside your house. They're amazing. Because now they're showing that people who regularly use saunas live longer. It's better for your heart. There's a whole study out now about it. And you get the same effect if you get into submerge. That's the key, because some people's like, oh, well, I take a hot shower. Well, there's no evidence that a hot shower will do it for you. But if you submerge yourself on a regular basis in temperature, like really hot water, so you have like a whirlpool or whatever, and you get in there and give yourself a good soak, there's evidence that it actually abates heart attacks, believe it or not. So yeah, pretty cool. So do that if you can. I mean, I try, but I don't have a sauna at home, so it's a little bit more challenging. Okay. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. You guys gotta read some of the comments on what's happening with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. One person said, when Colbert was fired, Trump said Kimmel and Fallon would be next. This is a targeted attack by an authoritarian government. Americans, y'all better stop laughing and start crying. The government can weaken y'all in 3 years. This other one says, so a Fox commentator can say to kill homeless people by lethal injection, and there's no outrage from those people about it. And then another person said, Kimmel didn't say anything nasty compared to what the podcaster did. Oh my gosh. And then another person says, okay, wait, wasn't Trump the one distasteful by blowing off the comment about his friend who had just been murdered and said, talking about a ballroom? I'm lost. Why aren't we outraged about his response or lack of one? It's just crazy. So I guess Kimmel must have said something about that. And, South Park has been, I don't know if you guys watch South Park, but South Park has been the one to really, they've been the one to really go after this administration, and they just got renewed for a number of years. Now I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, is there a possibility that they could actually cancel South Park? I mean, I don't know what South Park is on what channel. I don't know who runs the show there, but now everybody's scared. Freedom of speech is not free anymore. Could cost you your job, honey child. It's a hot mess. And, it's one of the reasons why, even for myself here, I don't own Bobo. And from a monetary perspective, it would be a lot easier for me to just stay with Bobo. I pay for my airtime, but then I don't have a lot of the other worries. And I've never, to be clear, I've never had any direct influences on what I say on the show from the Stingray Media team. But there are political people connected in Cayman, who've always tried to call up Don Seymour and be like, oh, I don't like how Sandy said this and whatever. And a lot of times he'll say, did she actually say that on Bobo? And then they're like, oh, no, it was the after show. Oh, Kirks. He's like, yeah, you're kind of out of luck there. Go talk to Meta. Meta is not going to cancel anything. But what I would say is anyone who's in this space understands that there is a real possibility of interference with free speech. And so as someone who advocates for free speech, I can't advocate for it just on one side or the other. If we're going to say, listen, people have a right to say what they want, we don't have to like it. And we certainly don't have to, whatever. It's just, listen, it's just pure madness. So I remain in awe. All I can do is sit here and just, there's a lot of jaw-dropping moments. For me, that I simply don't even know what to say. It's as simple as that. All right, so good morning. The Office of the Ombudsman, who deals with complaints against the police, are seeking the public's assistance as they carry out an independent investigation into a collision that happened on Sunday. So this is the one where a motorcycle carrying two men in the early hours of Saturday morning, my apologies, September 13th, ran into a police vehicle. So they're asking for anyone who may have dash cam footage of the incident. It took place around 2 a.m. as a marked police car was traveling on Bordentown Road, responding to an emergency call for service, collided with a motorcycle carrying a rider and passenger traveling east in the opposite direction. So, the police have one version. This, again, is where they need those dash cams, because there would be no question about how this happened if the police had dash cams. To me, this should be something that they should urgently do. I mean, if they want me to expedite a dash cam order for them, I can. I mean, let's be honest here. But you see, they're not going to like my kind of dash cam because it's going to catch everything, interior, exterior, and rear, which means that, all the conversations that they be having will now be subject to potential review inside the car. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Might be interesting. So if you were in the area, or if you live in the area of where the accident happened, I don't know if there's any homes really in that area, but if you can assist the police in any way, by all means, come forward. They're interested, like I said, not the police, the ombudsman's office. They're specifically interested in CCTV footage because, like I told you all yesterday, eyewitness testimony is highly unreliable. So they don't want the unreliable stuff. They want video footage. Mm-hmm. So not sure if one of you may have been driving by and saw something, and you have a dash cam in your car may have caught it. You just never know. So check your footage if you were in the area around 2:00 in the morning. Okay, hopefully they can get all the answers that they're looking for, because, you know. Mm-hmm. So what else? Let me just do a quick review here. Thank you, Damaris. Good morning. Melita's in the house. Jean is here. Jean said, yeah, the guy in Fox said homeless people should be shot. Wow, that's kind of harsh. I mean, my God. Homeless people, just because you're homeless. You know, a lot of people end up homeless because of circumstances, you know. It's not like they're horrible people. In fact, most of us are one paycheck away from homelessness. I think in Cayman, at least we have family perhaps that you can bunk with. Not even. One paycheck, one serious illness away from homelessness. All right, let's see what my crazy hair looks like. I have crazy hair day today. Okay, don't be bothered by it, because I put it up in the little top knot yesterday after my massage, and that's where it stayed. I'm gonna get done today. Getting ready for my trip. Morning, Dean Sinclair. How are you? Bonnie's in the house. Siobhan says he should be fired. Well, if they keep firing people at this rate, I don't know who's going to be next. What a mess. What did the FCC chair said? What did he say, though? Did he say anything? So he made ABC affiliates, he gave them an ultimatum to put Kimmel and Disney capitulated by taking him off the air once Nexstar, a large ABC affiliate license holder, said they would pull him. Yeah, this is what happens too, because, you know, the president gets to go in there, and this particular one has padded a lot of these agencies with his own people, so nobody's going to question him. This sounds awfully familiar. How did World War II get started again? He's erasing history of slaves now. That's the latest thing. Pretending like what they did to slaves didn't exist. It's crazy. Look at the. Ooh, Nona says the Practical Bride store in Dorsey Drive sells the portable sauna. Oh, really? Like a proper sauna? Thanks, Nona. I might have to check them out. I've never heard of them, so I want to check it out. Jane says this is a complete and utter violation of the First Amendment and other indication that Trump is turning America into autocracy. As an American, I am fed up with this morally bankrupt, ethically corrupt, financially corrupt, dishonest, disgusting, despicable man who's racist, sexist, homophobic, a bigot in every way, and a power monger. He encourages the mainstreaming of hateful rhetoric and has led to the rise of right-wing groups and right-wingers being elected to power worldwide. Did you see the bit? Gabby says, sounds like, she's like, America sounds more like North Korea. Did you see the bit where they're actually going and purging studies that don't support their position? I think we posted that one up yesterday about people who actually commit the most like hate crimes and stuff like that. They're actually getting rid of the studies because they don't like what the studies say. Listen, I don't care what side of like politically where you stand. If you don't see the danger of what is happening right now in America, this is from the very playbook of what the Nazis did. And people sat back then and did nothing. And millions of people, millions of Jewish people, and others, I'm sure, lost their lives. because of this type of behavior. This is so dangerous. I don't care why you like Trump, because I feel low key, some of you like him because you're bigots yourself, because you're racist yourself, and you've never had the balls to say it. And now you're like that much more comfortable to getting there. Some of you like him because you think he's a Christian. Have y'all read your Bible? Because when the Bible talks about the Antichrist, I mean, I'm not getting too deep into this, but he is so non-Christian that it's not even funny. But because he knows how to play the Christian, he's got your ticket. You know, he knows how to play you guys, pretending like he's all about family values and against abortions and this and that. I bet you that man has made a woman in his life have at least 1 or 2 abortions. I would bet the farmhouse on it. There's nothing about him, friggin' pedo, that says that his behavior does not align with what he says. He cannot possibly be a Christian. If he's a Christian, God, I don't even know what I would be. Like, he's really not. But because he says the right things and he says what, fundamentalist Christians want to hear, they think, oh yeah, this is it. Y'all are so easily fooled. Have a look at this.
We're in a moment in which there is an attempt to erase one of the absolutely iconic images in the history of American slavery and abolition. This is one of the most shocking images of the 19th century. It's a photograph made in 1863 of a man variously known as Peter or Gordon, who escaped his enslavement. His back was covered with the most horrific scars and welts from having been beaten. This photograph circulated with enormous reach during the Civil War, and it was really one of the most galvanizing moments in the iconography of abolition. The Washington Post reported that Park Service staff had been told to take this photograph down at a particular site administered by the National Park Service. Subsequent reporting by other newspapers have suggested that this is the Fort Pulaski National Monument in Georgia. This image is so vital to the telling of the story of slavery. The thought that it could be erased, that's audacious, and it's really quite scary. And given that there are ongoing surveys of content at other institutions, especially the Smithsonian, I would say this is a 5-alarm fire moment for people who are worried about the wholesale rewriting of American history to reflect a set of values that are not American.
I mean, you only have to do that. You only have to erase history because you're intending to rewrite it with just complete falsehoods. And this is America. Listen, America was built on the back of slaves. Let me be very, very honest here, right? It was built on the back of slaves and other poor immigrants, but definitely the African slaves were the one who carried the industries that built America, right? Plantations and the cotton industry and all these things that helped to fuel the Industrial Revolution and really, really built America. So you can't erase history like this without some serious consequences. And I'm telling you guys that the consequences is going to be a whitewashing of American history as though it wasn't bad enough. It's even going to get worse. And all Americans should be disturbed by this. It's just shocking. Someone sent me another video to watch. It's just, I don't know. I can't even get into it. It just disturbs me. It's starting to like make me physically sick when I have to think about what's going on. Please, I'm begging my American friends and family and everybody else to, y'all got to do something. I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to do something. Okay, let's talk about Cayman. Last week, I think it was Friday, Island Pearl says anti-Trump is a madman in clean clothes. The crazy thing is, I'll be honest with you, part of it also is about the Good Old Boys Network. I saw a headline this morning talking about how he's visiting the UK right now. So he's visiting Our King, and how certain things that the UK did during the election that kind of helped, that the king did during the election that really kind of helped secure, you know, a victory for Trump. Here's another headline that's going to get y'all. I mean, it's you can't make this stuff up. None of it is funny, it's disturbing, and you can't make it up. But these are the stark realities, right? So a lot of people go around saying things about politicians that isn't true, and I don't think that that's fair to them. But then here's a guy. He said he was voting for Trump. This is back in 2020. He said, if I'm a racist for voting for Trump, you're a pedophile for voting for Biden. Now he's been arrested. His name is John White. He's a Florida Trump supporter who accused Biden supporters of being pedophiles. He has now been arrested for molesting a 5-year-old child. Yeah. And this is what they do. They throw out this kind of rhetoric, and y'all who don't have no sense jump on it and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Biden is this and that. Well, here's the type of person that was speaking out about Biden. 54-year-old cantonment man charged with molesting a 5-year-old in Escambia County. He was arrested in August of 26 on charges, lewd and lascivious acts against molesting victim less than 12, and lewd and lascivious for exhibition victim less than 16. So a little female 5-year-old child, 5-year-old child. And he had the audacity to talk about he's supporting Trump. Of course you are. You know, you would be morally bankrupt, of course. And then he says, well, he's been put on bail over over $1 million bond. No doubt he's probably already out and released. Anyway, he did a lot of videos, and there's much more here. Said if you plan to vote for the pedophile and the hoe, this is the language that he used, in November, then you can't get a crap, then you don't give a crap about this country. And if you have kids, then you don't give a crap about them or any other child in this country. You will never convince me otherwise. This is the stuff this man was saying. Turns out he is a child molester himself. Damn, you cannot make this up. You know, he kept posting. They have copies of all of his posts time and time again. He does protest too much, sounds like to me. And he has girls. He has female children of his own. Oh, my God. You know, by the time they get caught, they've already molested multiple children. So, I mean, not for nothing, but I'm just saying he has probably left a whole slew of victims. He was obsessed with this topic in a way that now makes you wonder why. Why was he so obsessed about calling somebody else that? Well, you can go Google him, honey child. You'll see all of his posts. I mean, he was like ridiculous with it. Here's one, another one where he's going on and on and on about it, saying that you can't possibly support this man. Then he attacks Kamala Harris, and where he says he's a pedophile and she don't know what the hell she is. Well, I'm pretty sure one thing she does know is that she's not now arrested for molesting a 5-year-old. I'm just saying. Okay. And here he is with his own children, talking about they're hiding from Biden. Sounds like you better be hiding from your daddy, because he's the one who's the pedophile, as it turns out. What a piece of... Here's another one. BLM is the most racist organization ever, and if you support them, you're freaking racist too. Once again, projecting, because no doubt he's actually a racist. Oh my God. Wowee. There's more. There's more. Shocking, but not surprised. Here's another one. Keeping America great. Yeah. Yes, I did a thing today, and I hope that all of my real friends get the chance to vote, and keep America great. But if you plan on voting for the dizzy idiot, please keep your sleepy blankety blanket home and keep our streets safe. Huh. What a mess. Well, there he is. I hope they put him in the cell. John White, I hope they put him right in that cell with somebody named Bubba, who will treat him the same way he treated that 5-year-old. Praise the Lord and hallelujah. Can we get some church up in here today?
Praise the Lord.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Siobhan Berry says, making my blood boil. Deborah says, disgusting. Can you imagine? Good morning. So he did that to a 5-year-old. Makes you wonder if he did that to his own children. Well, they better go talk to them poor children while he's peddling them for political gain. They may very well be victims. Projection says Miss Pat. Marshall says most child predators have girl children. So sad. Oh my God. Lucille says markets. Good morning. Markets. Good morning. Stay safe. Love you. What is markets? You lost me there, Miss Lucille. Jane says this is spot on, Sandy. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and that is exactly why he's so terrifying. My dad doesn't even know where he was born, somewhere in Serbia, after my grandparents escaped the Nazis. I'm a first-generation American on my dad's side and forever grateful, and I will fight for our rights that Trump is ripping away. My mother marched in the civil rights movement, and I'm afraid that everything my parents and grandparents fought for will be gone with Donald Trump. What a mess. Okay. All right. Here in Cayman, Vincent Frederick. Y'all remember Vincent? He is, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to send out the links. Oh, my apologies. Give me 1 second. I shall do that right now. Somebody said, I'm going to go check YouTube. Yeah, we got like 200 people watching on YouTube. Give me a second. I tell y'all I'm already in vacation mode, right? My apologies. I'm so sorry. YouTube, Facebook, website. Don't forget the website is there, cmrtv.com. Honey chat. All right, let me get the website link. So this Unilad text says after 20 years, the Jimmy Kimmel Show has been axed because of one comment. What was the comment? I need to go back and see what the comment was. I think it had something to do with the fact that Trump was basically ignoring when he was asked, remember we actually posted that when he was asked about oh, how are you feeling about your friend Charlie being killed? He's like, oh yeah, okay. Yep, really sad. Now let's talk about the ballroom in the United States of America. Like that was literally the vibe. Did I play it for you guys last week? He was just like, oh yeah, the ballroom. He was more concerned about a ballroom that he claims that they've been trying to build for 100 years or something ridiculous. I'm just like, what? Huh? Oh, okay. All right, give me 1 second. My apologies. Let me get the Facebook link and I'm going to send it out. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Oh, I see. Facebook isn't showing us on the homepage today. So some of you are probably having a little bit of an issue finding us. So let me grab it for you. If that happens, there is a live tab right there. Just click on the live tab and that's how you get to it. But let me just send it out so that everybody is on the same page today. Yes. 936. Okay. All righty. Let me see here now. And I've got a senior in East End she's like, send me the links, please. Yes. I got to show her how to join the channel so that she automatically gets them every single morning. All right. So one of the things that we constantly fight for in this country is fiscal responsibility. Because if the government is not fiscally responsible, they will bankrupt us, right? And I must tell you that that is a problem, a real problem for we, the people of the Cayman Islands. I was about to say United States of America. I said that for so many years. We, the people of the United States of America, Pledge of Allegiance. So it's a concern. So we always have to be keeping an eye on government spending. It's important. You know, we call them out when we feel like they're wasting our money, like that school in Cayman Brac. Someone mentioned yesterday that some private citizens are trying to actually facilitate, I think it's Mr. Moses Kirkernel's wife, trying to facilitate the building of an oncology center in Cayman Brac. And whilst that sounds like a great idea, I mean, let's be honest, that's something that should have been done a really long time ago. Why wasn't it done? Because they're busy spending money about other stuff. You know, spending money in a school. So she says they needed to raise $1.4 million for this project. Her husband, Moses Kirkernel, was a government minister for many, many, many years. Like, did you not have this conversation with your husband? I understand that she's a cancer, I think, survivor, or she's been battling it for quite some time. My thoughts and prayers go out to her. But wouldn't this have been something for him to advocate for when he was actually in government? Now you wouldn't be out there begging people to, you know, come up with 1.4, like private citizens to come up with $1.4 million. I'm just saying. Okay, well, there's that. And I must say that, you know, there's lots of other examples of government wastage. And so we need to really, really rein it in. Well, one of the ways in which we need to rein it in is when government procures certain contracts, yeah? And through the procurement process, we actually end up wasting government money. This is never, ever a good thing. This situation is now dealing with, this came out on Friday. This is now dealing with the fact that we have, let me recap for those of you who missed it, the National Housing Development Trust. And the National Housing Development Trust needs every single dime they can get, because that is the organization, the government organization, that helps people with low-income housing. Let's not call it low-income housing, affordable homes, because, you know, I'm sure that's a better term. It helps them with affordable housing. So they do everything from, you know, they'll build you, they build these communities of homes. If you have your own land, they can help you build on it. You have to meet a certain financial criteria. They have the, what's it called? They have, oh Lord, what's it called again? Well, they haven't brought back Gigi Ham yet, but I understand the minister is supposed to be working on bringing that back. And that's basically where you go out there as a Caymanian, you qualify for mortgage, but maybe you qualify, you don't have all the like equity or whatever that the bank requires. So the government will actually, they will actually front as your guarantor, right? So that essentially the bank knows that if you default on the mortgage, the government got your back, which I'm sure they're going to take your house, but they got your back. I mean, I should really say they have the bank's back, because they'll get it. They'll get it from you one way or the other. So they're going to take your house. They're not going to make you sit in the house and then they pay the bill. So anyway, so big shout out to Wendy Ledger over at CNS because she actually broke the story. Give her full credit for this. Wendy does a lot of really amazing investigative work. By the way, last week, Friday, Wendy and I got to spend the day together. She was on my flight and I said, hey, Wendy, I see people walking by. And she's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to Miami for the weekend. She said, so am I. And I said, well, where are you going to be today? Because I'm only here for the weekend. And she said she's waiting on her friend to come in, yada, yada, yada. She doesn't drive. I said, oh, you can come drive with me. It's all right. So we went shopping. We had lunch. She's never been to Outback Steakhouse before. So we did that. We went to Outback and a few other places. So yeah, had a good time. So it was kind of cool hanging out with her. She's like, this is fun. We should do this more often. I said, yeah, we should. Anyway, so shout out to Wendy for breaking the story. We carried it after she broke it. And basically we have $157,000 worth of bathroom fixtures that were procured through, they went through the procurement process, but the fixtures essentially are incompatible with Cayman's plumbing system. The people who sign off, I guess it's the Central Tendering Committee or whatever they call themselves, who sign off on these procurements. This is where buying something cheap, like going with the cheapest bidder, does not always make sufficient sense, right? I don't know what Vincent, I don't know what he does really for a living. So I can't say how much knowledge he would have of like plumbing systems to be able to get this right. But he is the owner of this company. And there are questions about whether or not this company is even a legally registered company. We'll get to that here in a second. But he is the managing director and owner, according to him, since July of 2022 of a company called Cayman Source Imports Limited. He says that that's a wholesale company. He's also the owner of Spring Clean Janitorial. So he's both involved in the wholesale and the janitorial business. So he won a procurement bid. The fact that no one verified that he actually the fact that no one verified that he actually knew what he was doing in terms of ordering these supplies is shocking. It made me wonder, what kind of documentation did he submit in order to procure this contract, right? I mean, did they not ask for a proposal? And in that proposal, didn't he somewhere say that these are, properly fitted for the Cayman Islands plumbing system? I mean, it sounds like what he did was he ordered some cheap stuff from China, and now we're going to hold the bag for this $157,000 worth of stuff that can't even be used. How does this happen? That's my first question. How did the procurement, and I hope to God that the Auditor General's office is going to investigate this. So, it's crazy, but this is what happened. $157,000 in bathroom fixtures is now going to be literally, flushed down the toilet. They claim that they're going to be using it for farmers as animal. What is this? What is TROS, by the way? I need to look this up. I have no idea what animal TROS is. And then they claim that, this is going to be a more sustainable way of getting rid of the material. Well, that's kind of like blowing something up and then trying to fix it and put it back together. The real question is, how on earth did we get here? So what do they do with this? I think somebody's answering my question. So is this where is that like the feeding stuff? Oh, it's pronounced troughs. Animal troughs. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So what is animal troughs? What do they do with it? I have no clue. Somebody says you gotta love the English language. I know. I've never even seen it before, so I don't know what it is. What exactly is it? He used to work at Automotive Art. Don't know if he still works there. Oh, okay. In other words, he doesn't have a real business. It's what they put the food and water in for the animals. Oh, it holds water and food. Oh, I see. Okay. So they're kind of now like the tubs and whatever, they can use it for that. Okay. Yeah. Do we have that many animals that you know, there was a what do you call it? Wholesale need for these to begin with? Cattle water troughs? I doubt it. What a mess. So there's Vincent. He politically connected. He has actually ran for politics. I think many of you might remember. I think he ran in the last election against, not this election just gone, but the previous election. He actually ran against Chris Saunders, and he's ran before, at least once or twice before. Now, how does this happen? You know, this is kind of the $1 million question of how this procurement process went. And there's a picture here of it. I wish we had a better picture, to be honest. This picture is not really the best, but it's all kind of just sitting there, already got grass growing all over it, and will probably realistically soon be headed to the dump. But they claim they're going to try to repurpose it because they're trying to be sustainable. So give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can show you the picture. I do need to get a better picture because it's a very low quality photo of this. So this photo here is not the best, but I'll show you because it's interesting to see the fact that a lot of it's already like, you know, grass. It's obviously been sitting there for a minute. This is not something where it was, let me just see here, JPEG. This is definitely not something where it just got there. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Someone sent me a nice picture of some cows using these troughs. Okay. They're used as little feeders. Okay. I guess the agriculture department needs them. I'm assuming they're already feeding the cows perfectly fine, but here you go. All right. So this is what we got. So as you can see, it's been there for a hot minute. Grass is already growing all over it. And I guess now they're going to try to argue that, well, it won't be a complete waste because the cows will benefit from it. Well, for that kind of money, it wasn't meant for the cows to benefit from it. Bless their little heart. I don't have anything against cows, but that's not what we were spending that kind of money for. So the question becomes, if someone is involved in a procurement situation like this is the question, right? And they order the wrong thing. What do you think? Let's open up the phone lines now to this question, and we'll do a survey. What do you think should be the resolution to this? In law, when something like this happens, this is a contractual breach. So in other words, you have not delivered what you said you were going to deliver because it doesn't work, right? Surely you did not pay that kind of money to have these tubs and whatever else, these plumbing supplies not even be able to work. That doesn't make any sense. So since he ordered the wrong thing, shouldn't he make good on the contract and reorder the right thing to actually have contractual fulfillment? Let me tell you something. I studied contract law and I actually did very well in tort. I got a first class pass in tort, honey child. Because I understood very well the concept of suing people for contracts and this sort of thing, injuries and so on and so forth. So I performed really well in that exam. First class mark. So my question is this. Performance. When you breach a contract, there's certain ways that you can make it right. You could return the money, issue a refund, or you can demand performance. Well, that's how you remedy a breach of contract. Here, it seems that they're not going to be asking for the money back, and they're certainly not going to say to him, you need to provide us with the right thing. So basically, we are going to throw away $157,000? Or are they demanding fulfillment of the contract? Okay. I would like to know. And by the way, in legal terms, that's called specific performance. So in other words, you perform what you said you were going to do. That's part of your obligations under the contract. Well, this happened. Let me get some dates here to see if we can. This is back in 2023. The National Housing Development Trust wasted more than $157,000 on bathroom fixtures for the North Side and West Bay affordable housing projects. That probably explains one of the reasons that the West Bay project in particular took so much longer than it should have. Because when you have delays like this, like equipment comes and it's not any good, can't be used, then they have to turn on and reorder this. God knows what the reordering time is really like. So this Cayman Source Imports Limited, they were supposed to acquire and import bathroom suites for the homes and Lighthouse Gardens and Flamingo Point. However, once they were fitted, residents began experiencing persistent water leaks, and it was discovered that the leaks were due to compatibility issues between the metric size fittings and local U.S. standard plumbing systems, officials said in a response to CNS query. Wow. So they actually installed them and didn't even know that they were a problem. Let me say this. There are a lot of problems with those homes. And in fact, some of the homeowners in West Bay have reached out to me and they have said that they want to speak to me about what they claim is an ongoing quality issue at the homes. So unfortunately, they were built to very low standard. Now, you see, this is where, folks, I have a problem with these homes. I get that we want quote unquote affordable homes for people. That's all fine and dandy, but you cannot have affordable homes for people when affordability means that they are getting less value, right? Not in this environment, not where we have to deal with hurricanes, the occasional tornado, not often, flooding, sea salt, all of these things that really impact the quality of, you know, the goods that you buy. At best, I mean, let's be honest, sometimes you buy good quality stuff and it still cannot stand up to the sea salt, right? Things here rust very, very easily. And so this is a problem. Now, imagine you buying some cheap Chinese stuff. He probably paid about 20 grand for this and made mostly profits. Right? There has got to be in these procurement contracts some guarantee of quality. And that's not what they look at. They really just look at pricing. Like, oh, can you bring it in cheap? Whoever's the cheapest kind of vibe. The cheapest is not always the best. That's one of the things that my Aunt Lottie ingrained in my head, like you would not believe. She said, she would say to me, Sandra, you go and buy a cheap pair of shoes, they're going to make your feet stink because the material, your feet are going to sweat. It's not going to last long. It's going to fall apart after a couple months and all this kind of stuff. She said, it doesn't make no sense. You're right, Aunt Lottie. It sure enough don't make no sense. Because you actually, in fact, end up spending more than you would have had you just bought one quality item. You understand me? Yeah. So this is the reality now, folks, of purchasing things that are of quality. Okay. Yeah. So they went too cheap on this one. They should have asked question, where are you getting it from? Everybody knows that although we're a British territory, we're closely aligned to America in terms of our building materials and our building, expectations. So here's Vincent's social media page where he claims that he's the managing director at Cayman Source Imports Limited. It's quite shocking that this happened, and the procurement committee and whoever was involved in this procurement are not sitting down going, maybe we need to rewrite how we select individuals to fulfill contracts. Right? So the homeowners were complaining. They tried to resolve the problems repeatedly. The issues could not be fully addressed. In order to safeguard the quality of the homes and the comfort of residents, the National Housing Development Trust Board approved the replacement of all fixtures with Kohler products in 2025. And the work has since been completed. Well, not for nothing, but that could have been done from the onset. Right? So now, I don't know how much the Kohler products cost. I guess they would have ran them a little bit more because they're definitely a much better quality brand. When you buy Kohler, you know what you're getting. You're getting a warranty and all this kind of stuff. Here's another question that I had. Did he not have certain, I'd love to see the contract, because were there not certain things written into the contract that if these don't fit or if they don't work, or if they leak it, is there some kind of warranty that you guys got with this? I'm a little bit confused. So yeah, all of these things make you wonder, because if it came with a warranty, what exactly are they getting for that warranty? Who should be held accountable, says Caymankind? It's a good question. Anthony says, you guys broke protocol. How could you allow Cayman's two most powerful news media moguls to be on the same flight? That should never happen. What if something happened to the flight? We kind of jokingly, a lady who was behind Wendy jokingly said that as well. Well, I don't have Wendy's flight schedule. And she certainly doesn't have mine, but point taken, because we were both like, one good thing, boy, we love us at Cayman Airways, because our pilots, they land so safely and they really don't take any chances. Thank you, Cayman Airways pilots. So yeah, we both, when she said that, we both looked at each other like, okay, let's not put that negativity out in the universe. This is going to be a great flight. I fell asleep on the flight, child. I was like, I'm tired. Had to get up early, 4:00 in the morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just calling with reference to the Vincent Frederick situation.
What do you think about this?
I have a very little knowledge, and I have been out of it about 7 years, but I'm just going to put a gist out there. Maybe somebody
7
else
years?
who has more information. Hold on.
Where you been, honey child?
I lost my eyesight at 44 years old. My eyesight
I'm so
disappeared.
sorry.
So it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of life. So
Well, can I ask you a question? This is a serious question. Since you have a visual impairment, do you ever go to our website, CaymanMallRoad.com? Because we have the Audible thing on there. I think we're the only news media in Cayman that has it.
Okay, this is a good question. And if
Yeah.
anybody else out there can help me or guide me, I would love help.
Okay. All right. We got to try and get you some help.
I don't think there's anybody in my situation in Cayman Islands born with my eyesight, lost it, completely stopped working 4 years ago.
Wow.
Don't try to reach out to the Diabetic Society. Don't get through. Nobody calls back. There's no provisions for me to teach me how to manage with my eyesight the way it is now,
gosh.
right?
So you lost it because of diabetes.
That's correct.
Oh, wow.
I can't learn Braille because, when you have diabetes, you lose feeling in your fingers or in your feet. For me, it's more my fingers. And then, so there's no help. So I do use Audible, but again, how to get to your website and then how should I navigate it? Then if you try to go to government, there's nobody there to guide me with direction.
Resources,
so Dr. Foley referred me to get, for me to go away to Miami to be helped, taught how to manage with it, what sources or what equipment I can use to help me, because it's not like I've given up. I still do a lot with what I can do,
right?
But I could do so much more, right? But I don't know where to go. And, Dr. Foley can only give you so much or tell you so much. There's nothing there. So I wouldn't be able to.
So if anybody who's listening, if there's anybody who's listening this morning who maybe have some experience with, total vision loss, but how to navigate that in her circumstances, please reach out. I mean, we would be happy to pass along your contact details to this lady because, I'm sure it impacts your life in a way that most of us simply cannot even appreciate. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm not depressed. I haven't questioned God. I haven't, I've always lived my life expecting to pivot. And I've always lived my life expecting challenges, So this is just another challenge. I'm willing to navigate with it and I'm willing to learn. I love to learn.
Yes.
So it's just for someone to provide the information. Dr. Foley referred me to try and get me away.
Yes.
Cynical turned it down. So, to go to the school or whatever to get the equipment is $20,000-$30,000. I don't have that. So it just, I just try to work with what I have.
Okay.
But it would be great to be able to do more.
Yes,
now,
absolutely. Yes,
Vincent Frederick.
Yes.
No, you're correct. It would be good to be able to see the contract. But typically, when you have something, I don't know if the drawings had specifications. Typically, the drawings would have some sort of specifications for whatever fixtures are supposed to go there or go wherever it's supposed to go. So if he's choosing something that is different than what the architects or the MEP team specify,
I would have thought somebody would have picked that up.
He should know what he's supposed to do is sending us a submission to whoever is managing the project, whether it's public works or whoever in housing department. And that person, if they don't have the knowledge, they might have a third party, which could also be the MEP company again, or it could be a different company that they forward on what was submitted from Vincent to say, he's replacing this item with this item. Please sign off if it's good enough, if it's sufficient. So that would cover Vincent. And it would also cover the project as well to make sure that whatever he's bringing in, it will be a smooth install. There should be no problem. So he shouldn't be able to bring in whatever he feels like. It should always be sent into government, whichever department, for them to, and he's sending all the specification sheets, all the specs, the color, the size, whatever it is. And they sign off. So the MEP team would sign off on it. And then the project manager would also sign off on it. Then that goes back to Vincent. Then he would proceed with his order. And also, if on Vincent's side, if I was somebody that, okay, they gave me a budget for my plumbing, that, for the project, and whatever was originally specified on the drawing would put me outside of what government money they gave me to complete the project, I would send the drawing with the specifications to my supplier. And then they would go out and find something else that can do the job, right? And then he would take that information and send it back to government. So there's so much ways that this could have been avoided. So I just don't know what was he.
Sounds like a lot of slackness.
Information.
Yeah.
It didn't have to reach as far. And he should never have been fully paid for those products. I don't even know how government got that, because that's not normally how it's done. If he's the one doing the installation, or if he's the one just doing that provided, if he brought in the material and there's a different company that's installing it, how come that company didn't pick up the one that's doing the installation that it wasn't sufficient? They should have returned it to Vincent.
Girl, I don't know what you did in your previous life, but you seem to know a lot about this, and it all makes good sense to me. Somebody says to give her a kaboom because she knows what she's talking about.
Yes, that's what I did.
Okay.
That is what I did. Procurement. And I also managed the paperwork between the suppliers, the contractors. I also worked for the developer. So I can tell, that there's a lot of issues. The contract wasn't done right because he should have never been fully paid. And I don't understand how that material is on government property.
Yeah.
It should have been in Vincent's warehouse.
But here's the thing. They actually installed it before they realized that there was a problem.
No, they realized. I can't talk and call the word at 9:30. What they did, they jerry-rigged, as what George Hunter would have called that. They jerry-rigged that thing. They realized that it couldn't work, but they tried to make it work. And they knew it wasn't going to last. But it would pass enough, pass CO. How did I even pass CO? How did I pass final inspection?
Right. That's a good point, girl.
Off your phone.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I mean, those are some sensible questions. She said she's familiar with the procurement process, and it's obvious that she is. Wow. Kaboom for the caller. She's absolutely correct with the process. Another person says, good morning. Vincent must have bought them for Alibaba.com or Shein. I don't think Shein sells stuff like that, but y'all know what I mean. The more you buy, the more you save. And then he's a John man. So he was getting all of his support. This island is in such a mess. Only Father God can help us. Well, Father God not coming down to help us right now, I don't believe. So he gonna make us help ourselves. So we need to ask some questions, and I'm gonna send some questions over for the ministry in terms of what now is going to happen, because we didn't buy this material to use it to feed cows in, right? It wasn't purchased for troughs. I'm sure they're much cheaper than this. So trying to make it sound like, this is some environmentally friendly decision is a bunch of hogwash if you ask me. And I'm sure the cows don't even need it. What sort of performance are we going to expect here? Is he going to pay the money back? Did he help to offset the Kohler order? How did this work? This person says, good morning, Auntie. This topic stinks of crookedness, of political corruption with a hint of friend and favor support. You remember who he ran with? Yep, progressives. And I told you guys, who would have been in 2023? Which government was that? Julie hadn't taken over yet, right? So, Minister J, I mean, I got questions for you about this. Of course, he's going to say he's not involved in the procurement process because that's supposed to be, okay, they send that request for, deliverables, and then you submit it, and then they go from there. Absolutely ridiculous. Wow. Good morning. Great topic. The issue is also trust. I have a similar problem with someone who sat on the CPA to renovate a home, and now I intend to bring an action against the contractor if he doesn't contribute to the reparations. You prepare a contract, but when you don't have the experience, you rely on the individual because it just would not have occurred to you that the person would be so dishonest and cut so many corners. Oh God, I hope this isn't Philip Hydes again. I'm just saying. That man cuts corners more than Quaker has oats. This is crazy. So Carrie says MPJ Ebanks had nothing to do with this. Right. So he has nothing to do with it. But did the board, did the National Housing Trust Board have something to do with this? In terms of the procurement process? If so, I think somebody has got to answer. I mean, I don't know who the somebody is, right? So is it the board that needs to all go as a result of wasting our money? Somebody help me out here with the answers because I don't know. Okay, Mankind says, Attorney General, you have some work to do. Well, it's more like the Auditor General's office. El Rey says, not hogwash, but BS. Whoever gave him the contract should be held accountable. Well, I mean, I guess it's the ministry that went through the procurement process. I don't know. I mean, it's not normally one person, right? So again, how they miss all of this, only God knows. Wow. Lots of questions in terms of this. Now, there are also some questions around the company Cayman Source Imports Limited, because after Wendy did her investigative research on the DCI website, there was no company with that name. Okay. So, this is interesting. So surely they would have asked him for a business license at the time. So let me go back. I wonder how far back she went to look for a business license. So this was 2023. All right, let's go back and look at the DCI website. You guys know anybody can do this. This is public information. And I keep telling you guys, the more you educate yourselves about how to find information, the better off you be. Because some of y'all are dealing with companies that are not even in good standing. And that says a lot about who they are. Okay, so let me just pull this out. We're going to do this exercise together because I want to show you and demonstrate how easy it is for you to check and verify whether or not someone has a business license. That's the very bare minimum that people should have. That doesn't mean they're a good company, but at least they're compliant with the law. So you go to the DCI website, and then there's an area called reports, and that's where you'll find under licensing and then reports, you will find all of the active licenses, as well as you can go back in time as well for a number of years. So let's go back to February of 2023. Okay. So I don't have an exact, I'm just going to increase the size here so we can see. I don't have an exact date of the procurement contract, but they said 2023. So if they had an active license in February, it would have ran from at least January, February to the following year, right? So let's just type it in, Cayman Source Imports Limited. It found a hit. So that means that at that time they had a license. Yes, there it is. Cayman Source Imports Limited. So it looks like when Wendy looked it up, she looked it up as a current company. He no longer has a current license. So that's interesting. And merchant / wholesaler. You see the trade and business license number. It was obtained in July of 2022. Went to July of 2023. Block and parcel matches, I'm sure, with his address in Bodden Town. Okay, I'm just going to cross-reference it to make sure that this is him. This is how we do it. So now we're going to go to the elections website, and we are going to check the electors lists, and we're going to look for first name, Vincent, last name, Frederick. This is detective work, honey child. Oops, give me 1 second here. Form for registration. Oh, no, not registration. We are just looking to search the list. Hold on. Official register of electors, my apologies. Vincent, Frederick. Search. No rows found. So say what? Vincent. Does he spell his last name differently? Okay, I found him. Yeah, here it is. Vincent Ronaldo Frederick. Same address, the exact same address. His occupation is listed as an auto parts manager, but it matches the same address as this Cayman Source Imports Limited in Bodden Town. So that's him. Okay. Now, let's go back a little bit. So we know that in February of 2023, he had an active license. Let's go to February of 2024. Now, his license was running July. So maybe what we do is we do it. Did I say June or July? I think I said July, right? So let's look at July of 2024. And we're going to look for the same company. And it's gone. Oh, crooks. Not for nothing, honey child, but now I have a theory. I have a theory. Now listen, come class, come kids, come to the front of the classroom. Be good students. Hear this now. This is what I'm thinking. He got the license in July of 2022. Looks like he only had it for 1 year in order to get the contract. You see, this is where politics comes in. If you're in the business, right, as a wholesaler slash, what do you say? Wholesaler, what did he say before? Wholesaler slash merchant, you don't just jump up overnight, get a business license for a year, get one contract, and then you're out. That stinks of somebody on the political side said to him, oh, this contract is coming up. You should. And then I have questions about the procurement. You mean to tell me that you allowed someone who was new in the business, probably had zero track record of ordering these things, to get a government contract? Oh, wow. Now I want to see the procurement application in terms of what was submitted. Are those things available on the procurement website? Does anybody know? Okay. Established government-wide contracts. Let me see. Because this really just took a totally different turn. He got a business license, folks, for a year, basically, right? Which is the minimum amount of time that you can get one. Got this contract, and then that was it. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is, or it was, a limited company. So let me go back now. Let's go back. Let's go back to my previous search for 2023. So yes, honey child, this is a little bit suspicious. Okay, I'm just saying. So he took the time to set up a limited company for a wholesale license. My brain is trying to process this. Merchant/wholesaler. That's the license number, issued in July of 2022 to July of 2023. Didn't renew it after he ordered this. Let me check something else. Now I want to go to the DCI. No, now I want to go to the registrar. Cayman Registrar of Companies. And we're going to do a search there. Because now I'm wondering if his company has also been struck off. Let me see. Now we can dig a little bit deeper. So registration and annual fees, incorporation, companies struck off. Let's have a look. Hopefully they don't charge me for this. So if he didn't renew it, let me see if it got struck off in 2023 or 2024. It's populating the list. So now we're going to search for the name. We're looking, it's searching. Hold on a second. So it's not on the struck off list for 2023. Let's check for 2024. Because he had a license up till mid. So his probably his annual fees would have been paid in 2023. It's not struck off for 2024. Let's check for 2025. Let's see. Because sometimes they go a long time before striking off a company as well. So I don't see it here. Vincent Frederick's sister works at Register of Companies, Judy Ann Frederick Morgan, says someone. Someone else says, Auntie, you're damn spot on. Oh my goodness. So I am interested now to know. I wonder if this company, if they haven't been struck off yet, can they provide a certificate of good standing? I mean, is there a way to find out? Let me ask this question. Is there a way, I don't know if this is there a way to find out if a company has paid its fees and is current? It's not showing up. It's not showing up on the struck off list, but we noted they only had a business license. I mean, you can still keep the incorporated company, mind you. License for 1 year in from July 2022 to 2023. Okay. So let me try to find out that, because that's a really, really interesting question. And I'm also curious to know what other contracts or bids he may have won. Someone said, I'm sure John had something to do with it. He's his good friend, just like the contractors for the Point Siena project. Point Siena project. So yes, we also know that somebody says no, his sister works for Sampson's law firm. His other sister, Cindy, used to work there. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so this is very, very interesting. Huh. Okay. All right. We have a road rage video here that people have been sending me. Oh my God. We are going to send this to the police this morning. Good morning. Why not ask Mr. Panton? Was he aware of this as he was premier at the time? So in case you missed the memo earlier, let me be very, very clear about what I said earlier. Ministers are not, and I don't know why he would be, just because he was premier, you'd think he knows everything, but ministers do not get involved, are not supposed to get involved in the procurement process. So just like someone said, well, no, Minister J didn't know anything about it. Why would Minister, if we're going to believe that, why would we then believe that Minister and Premier at the time, and we don't know exactly when in 2023 he got it? When did they kick out Wayne Panton? Are you sure he was still Premier in 2023? Because I'm kind of thinking he may not have been. I'd have to go back and check my records. But can anybody who's an A+ student in here, while I put up this video of this speed demon driving dangerously in our streets so the police can go and arrest him? Posting it right now, Bobo. I got you. Yep. So this person doing all kind of bad driving this morning. Oh, we have multiple videos, so I need to get this to the popo. So give me a second here. I'm going to put this together for them. I don't have time to be calling him right now, but I will. So this person says, Julianne Morgan is a deputy chair of the Work Permit Board appointed by John. November 2022, Wayne was removed. So caller, I need y'all to pay attention in class now. How can we ask Wayne Panton when he was not even premier? I'm just saying. Don't be coming with these questions. I know y'all were taught there's no such thing as a foolish question, but actually there is. He was not premier. So he was not premier. He was not even a minister. So there you go. That has been asked and answered. Any other foolish questions while we're at it? You know, I can't remember everything, but I expect if y'all gonna be throwing out these questions like this, make sure your question is based in some degree of truth. Okay. Does the police actually act? And they're gonna be acting, girl. You don't worry about that. Hold on. So let me just grab this. So yeah, so wow, this is really I got a lot of questions here. I mean, this is really wow. Like, wow. For real, wow. Wow. Damn. Wow. Let me see here now. To this speed demon who is out there driving, license plate number. I'm going to get your license plate number. I think it's a Honda. Give me a second. You're going to be reported to the police because this type of driving, I don't know how y'all think you can get away with this. License plate number. It's a Honda. Hold on. I need to zoom in. Give me 1 second. Let me just create the video first of all. Speed Demon is what we're going to call this one. License plate number, Honda, some kind of Honda vehicle, not a Honda Fit this time. But this one is, okay, let me just see. Honda Accord. Thank you so much. License plate number 218473. 218473. You have been nominated as Jackass of the Day, and we will be reporting you now to the Popo. So for this kind of driving, they arresting people in the streets for inconsiderate driving. You should be arrested for dangerous driving. I hope you go get him. A Honda, what do you say, Honda Accord? All right, I'm gonna show you all the video here. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. All right. Thank you so much for the good citizens that have spent the last few minutes sending me this video, because yeah, this is not good. I mean, don't we have enough accidents in our roadways for y'all to be out here driving like a lunatic? Like, why? Social media. All right, so we're gonna post that up. Those of you who are wondering what on earth has Sandy's attention, let me show you what this is. Look at this driver. Look at this. So they pull out of let me back it up. They pull out of, is that a private driveway? It looks like it could be. Then they start driving the opposite side of the road, almost hit that little Mitsubishi, driving all the way to the opposite side of the road. And this is other people catching them throughout their journey. This is how these people are speeding on our roads. Of course, somebody was capturing this with their phone. Get a dash cam. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, so wait a minute. They weren't coming out. This is another angle, you see? They weren't coming out of that driveway. They were actually driving on the left of people and then pulled all the way out. See, the first video, I thought, back it up. I thought when they did this here, I thought that they were actually coming out of that driveway. They were actually passing cars on the wrong side. Yes. Oh my God. Who is this person? Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy driving. Whoa. Whew. No, sir. 218-473 is the license plate number. Hopefully you're sitting there in your car right now, listening to the show, and you know the popo is coming for you. How does that song go? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? They coming for you today, Bobo. They coming for you today. I'm just saying. Now, you know why it's also important to have your dash cam? Because they can claim, well, it wasn't me driving. I don't know who had my car. Your dash cam has everything on it. All of the location maps, the GPS, timestamp, everything. All right. We're going to put this up for the popo to deal with here today. Popo, you got an emergency case on your hands of bad driving. Now, this isn't inconsiderate driving. This is straight up dangerous driving. You almost hit that Mitsubishi vehicle. And where are you going in such a hurry? Anyway, you have been nominated as Jackass of the Day. All right. We shall be posting you up momentarily. All right, folks, back to Vincent. The more I hear about this, the more I realize, yep, that's right. They were overtaking on the left first. The more I realize that yes, thank you. Yeah, so there's two separate videos. And you know what? Let me put them in order because the first one I got was the 8-second one, but then the 17-second one actually does a better job of showing fully what happened. So let me just reverse the order and put it in chronological order. Okay, hold on. I'm going to reorder these. So first we put the 17-minute one, the 8-second one. Then we're going to do somebody captured it with a photo and then another photo. Good. Fantastic. Now I put this all together and it makes proper sense. Hot mess. Export. Okay. Wow, y'all are really horrible drivers. I mean, my God. What the heck? Why? No, sir. Unbelievable. All right. We will certainly get this up here now for the police to deal with this person. And all right. Good morning. I know who that is. They were on the phone with the police at the same time. They were being chased by someone that are at the police station now making a statement. So they were being chased by someone. And the videos that we have don't actually show them being chased by anyone. I mean, where's the person chasing them in traffic? Because I don't see anybody chasing them. So you're trying to say that the person who was recording it was chasing them? Because that was the only person who was even remotely behind them, I would say. And this sounds very suspicious now. Let me ask the police if they had anybody chasing them. Okay, we can ask. Someone being chased by another vehicle this morning. So any reports? Let's ask the police. That's not an excuse, but let's find out. Okay, let me confirm before I post them as Jackass of the Day. I will ask. All right, so someone says it will not be taken off that quickly after expiration. It could be years before it is struck off. Yes, this is how government continues to charge fees if the company ever wants to operate again. And Wayne left in late October of 2023. Okay. All right, let me try to verify this and then we'll see. Let me just have a look here. Okay, so 2023 or 2022, Wayne was removed. I don't think he lasted till 2023, to be honest. I think it was actually November 2022 that he was removed. I have to check my website to confirm the date, but I feel like, what was the interim government called? What were they called again? UPM. So let's see when the UPM government was formed. UPM. So 20. Yeah. I mean, okay, so that was 2024. Nope, they were there in 2023. They tabled their first budget in December of 2023. So let me see. Let me just see now. So it might have been 2020. Let me see. McKeeva got reappointed as parliamentary secretary. So no, it was actually, you're right. It was actually, it was around November of 2023. And then they started to swear in people shortly thereafter. So it was 2023 that Wayne was removed. And we don't have an exact date of when this guy got this contract. We'll try to get some of these details if we can. Okay. Discard that one. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know it was 2023. Okay. Well, this is madness if we're having people chasing each other in morning traffic, but we will certainly inquire of the Popo on this one and see if that's actually what is going on here. Okay. All right. Thanks for the info. Right. But regardless, he has a lot of family that work with the registry, says this person. Yes, thank you. Somebody else sent me confirmation that Julianne O'Connor Conley took over in 2023. Yes, somebody said, remember, she gave 2 years of money of government workers, 2023 and 2024. So I think it was 2023. That's right. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. All right. So, by the way, the car is maneuvering in a school zone. I thought in one of those videos, I actually saw a school bus down the distance. So, that's crazy. But we'll find out. Okay. Please find attached Department of Environmental Health. Okay. Sending out a press release. Which ministry does environmental health fall under? I got to keep a list of the ministries. I can't even remember who has which ones. Let me just see something now. I'm going to send something to our Save, yes. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Let me just play a song so I can focus on sending this email. Another fallacy that we have, folks, by the way, is that we can multitask. And we can do more than one thing at the same time, when in fact, that's another mental fallacy, that we think we're so adept at doing certain things. Adept at doing certain things that we can multitask. We can't. When we start to multitask, one of the functions will suffer. That's why when you notice when I start typing and I'm trying to talk, the brain starts to slow down for the talking, and I'm kind of like going, because you just can't. You can't really multitask. The brain is not designed to do that, not the human brain. I don't know who else might be multitasking. All right, let me just do a couple quick commercials. Never a bad thing. We'll be right back after these messages.
For the past 58 years, CUC has strived to be more than just an electricity provider. We have sought to be a foundational company. We give back to our community, and with the hard work and dedication of our employees, we have built and maintained one of the safest and most reliable electricity grids in the region. As we all look to the future, we at CUC want the Grand Cayman community to have confidence that our commitment to you will continue. Join us as we continue this journey together at empoweringcayman.com.
Cayman Mall Road is always keen to bring you the latest news first as it happens. So we've switched on WhatsApp channels to make it more convenient for both you and us to get all of the latest news alerts, traffic alerts, and everything else that's happening in your community. It's really, really simple to join the channel. First, just make sure that you've got the latest version of the WhatsApp application installed on your smart device. Then scan the barcode that you see here on the screen. That's going to open up the channel page and gives you the option to follow it. So you're going to want to click on follow. Then step number 2, at the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the button that says turn on notifications. It's the little bell, so simply click on it and it'll turn it on, because by default, notifications are off for channels. And then that's pretty much it. At the bottom of your phone, when you're in WhatsApp, you'll see an area called updates, and that is where you'll click to see the WhatsApp channel, and all of your daily updates will be there. And you can even go back to when the channel was first set up several months ago and see everything that's been posted. It's a great way to keep up with CMR and everything that we're posting to bring you Cayman's latest news. All right, folks, thank you so much for your patience. sent off an email to the RCIPS communications desk. Let's see how quickly we can get a response on that. So we'd like to be able to have that before actually posting, because now we don't quite know why this person was driving like a speed demon. One person has said that they were being chased. I mean, I assume that they were just being chased because they were driving like a mad person, and the other person was trying to get the evidence of it. And again, this is why it's not good to do that. What you do instead is just have your dash cams. And then the other great thing about the dash cams is it actually shows you the miles per hour that you're doing. So when the police see someone speed by you, say you're doing 25 and somebody speeds by you like you're standing still, that allows them to do a pretty good estimation of what the other person would have been driving. I'm just saying. This commenter in the Frederick situation says this situation is corruption at its highest, which makes me sick. And they get away with this crap all the time, it seems. Why people don't band together and finally demand accountability and see that this is theft of the people's money and how the people's money is managed. This order is no different than the crap that took place with Poinciana. And to see every election cycle, people continue to re-elect these types of persons to political office. The MPs then places persons like Vincent Frederick and more like him on boards and councils. Touche. Then you wonder why others come here and take advantage of us and make a mockery of the justice system as well. We must do better, look at other jurisdictions, and we're the first at times to speak about others, but can't get our own house in order. Sad, sad, sad. Very, very valid points as far as I'm concerned. And this is part of the payback in a lot of ways with appointments on boards. They're appointing people on boards who are simply not even qualified to be there. You know, and how Vincent Frederick got this contract really for a new person having this business license, merchant/wholesaler, really I quite find to be shocking. So we know that the company has not been struck off as yet. And like I said, normally that can take some time before that happens, because, you know, they just let you sit there. And then eventually, you know, it might happen. But I do want to have a look. Because again, I have a theory about all of this in terms of how this actually went down. So we know that the business license was obtained in July of 2022. And so I wonder when the company was actually incorporated, which is a slightly different question. So to find that out, let me just see here, incorporation, types of companies. I think I have to now look at I may now have to do public record search. So let's have a look. We are going to get to the bottom of this yet, honey chill. Okay, so companies register, types of companies, beneficial incorporation. Where is the option to search? Okay, advantages, registration, company statistics. This is where I wish I had access to their, you know, they have a system where people who are in like company registration, all that kind of stuff, they have pending strike entities. Oh, they have a pending list? Oh. Resident company. Oh, there's only 3 on there. Huh. Resilience Cayman. Which company is that? Siapac Caribbean, Blue Water Therapy. Non-resident companies, the Cayman Islands High School Alumni Association. Hey, if you guys are with that, you might want to pay whatever fees because you're on the pending list. Voluptuous Investments Limited. Voluminous. Wilson and Sons. And then we have a bunch of LLCs that are on the list. And we have ELPs, Integra Opportunity Cayman Fund. Those are LPs. And then we have a ton of exempt companies, quite a few of those. So he's not on the pending list either, but let me just try to go back and see where I can find, oh gosh, where is it on here? Let me go back to the homepage where I can actually find, you can search. Where's the search option? I think they move things around on the website, honey chill. Search for a company. Okay, let's see. Yes. Company search. Ugh. Okay. Let's see next. That wasn't right. It says, I hate this this e-services thing. You get one for like everything, but then heaven forbid you forget something. You have to start all over. Ugh. Let me see. View edits. So it says that I don't have a password. Normally the passwords are what? Email addresses? For usernames. Let me see. That wasn't right. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to register again. No. The thing about it is it the same registration? Because they all come up as e-services, but I swear it'd be different registrations that you use. Is it the same one that you would use for like customs? Because they all say e-services login. Is it one e-services? I always get confused. All right, hold on. I have e-services DVDL. I have CIG custom saved. I have company registry search saved twice, but that has no username. So I can't remember now. Good morning, caller. What a mess.
Morning. I know I'm not on the air, so I call at this time. I want you to look for website. It's even a Nobel Peace Prize. The site is n101.com. Dr. Nathan Bryan. And he actually deals with the natural gas, like a hormone in your body that deals with all kinds of stuff. So I said maybe you might find something there that would help. No, he was on the television yesterday.
It's going to help. What? Sorry, what is it supposed to help with?
Different things. It's a hormone that your body produces. It's different things in this that like thing. It's like a hormone, yes. Your body actually produces. It was very interesting. I just would like to see every time.
Oh.
It's Dr. Nathan Bryan, and the website is n101.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Let me see here. Register of companies. Oh, Lord. You mean I'm going to have to sign into this again? Ugh. Then it says site can't be reached. What the heck? Login failure. I don't know what's going on here. Does anybody have access to the company system that we can watch? Where you can just search something? I know y'all do. Okay. So somebody else says the person posted this. We need the police to confirm because obviously anybody can say anything in relation to them driving, but let's see if we can't get it. All right. Let me see. I'm waiting on the police. They take their time. And this is precisely why we, sometimes can't wait on the police. Like they come back and say, oh, well, you didn't get this right. I'm like, well, we say to people, it's not official yet. So you wait till it's official. They're all a different login, but I have no idea what's going on with the general. I've definitely registered for that one before. Lord have mercy. So I got to register again. Let me try registering. Mm-hmm. I'm sick of registering because obviously it don't work. Invalid username. How can it be invalid if I'm registering with it? So you don't tell me any parameters for the username. So how can it be invalid? It didn't say anything like a certain number of letters or whatever for the username. The email address is already registered for an e-services account. Duh. That's because I can't get back in. All right, let me try another email address. And I got to go because I got appointments this morning. Okay. The email address is already registered. That one registered too? Okay, let me find another email address. Okay. All right. An email has been sent to the address you entered. Click the link to that email is provided. Okay. Let me go see if I can find it. All right. So this investigation is going to have to continue into tomorrow because I definitely have some questions to ask in relation to this. All right. We'll figure it out. I will, because I can't stay on today. I've got things. I got a whole list of things today, lots of appointments. So we'll figure it out, and I will let you guys know tomorrow what my findings are in terms of the registration of the company. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know. I've got a bunch of services, but I don't even know which is which and how it works and da-da-da-da and whatever. So let me try to figure it out. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's Friday. Last show for 2 weeks, so you better tune in early, honey Jill. Have a good one. Cameron says the best information is always found on the windshield. It sure is. Goodbye. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.